So I missed last week, um, and I apologize for that. I didn't take my cards with me when I went to Bradenton, so I took that as a sign that I was supposed to take last week off and just sit with stuff, which seems pretty appropriate since this is the first of the year and some cycles were ending. And it's funny that it turned out the way that it did because the death card is the card that came up. And so that's what we're going to talk about today in shadow work and what I have found with the death card in the Transformation Tarot. I'm Witch Michelle. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, hey, thanks for stopping by. If you wouldn't mind clicking the subscribe button and the little notification bell so you'll always know when I go live or upload a new video. I try to do them every day. It doesn't always happen that way because I'm a Sag, and it comes when it comes. But I've been more consistent with this channel than I have been in previous times. So yeah, I hope you like it. And I have my friend is the other witch, Michelle, and we try to do some things together. We just started last week. We uploaded our first duo video. I think we're going to talk about paganism and what that word means in an upcoming video, and what it encumbers and all the things that fall under the umbrella of paganism. I liken it much to being called a Christian or any other religion you call, that has a broad type that covers lots of things underneath it. So yeah, we're going to talk about that. We've got things about empathy we want to talk about and empaths. We're going to throw a lot of things up here in the next year. So it's kind of a cool time for you if you're just stopping by. And we love your comments and any show ideas that you have that you want us to talk about. Please don't hesitate to do that. Comments are always welcome. And we would love to hear any of the journeys that you guys are taking on your own to become better you, because that's what life's all about, right? So this week's card is death, and its subtitle is Grieving and Letting Go. This is the death card. Try to see. So in the card, it has a woman, and their spirals are going down into the earth to remind us that we return to the dust, and then up into the cosmos to remind us that our spirit is more than what's in this body. In the traditional tarot, death is usually about endings and beginnings, and so it is with this deck as well, but more so about like things ending and stuff starting. It's not really about death in the traditional sense of death and dying. This card does include that in this explanation. So I've always been fascinated and terrified by death. But the thing that I need to remember is that it's also a rebirth. When you leave this physical body, you go someplace else. I think physics has already pretty much proven that there are other dimensions and places, and that what the energy inside of us doesn't end, it goes someplace else. It's just hard to wrap your brain around the limited existence of this life. And we do lots of things to avoid looking at our own mortality. And this card suggests really contemplating the ending of your own life and what that means. And know that you're probably going to freak out a little bit about it if you're like me. But those are feelings. And the thing that I've learned through this journey right now is that every reaction is caused by a feeling that I have, at least for me. And those feelings do not last really long periods of time. I mean, they come and they go, just like panic and anxiety comes and goes. I'm able to process those things and say to myself, this feeling, this panic, this anxiety, this happiness is going to come, it's going to stay, and then it's going to go. It's not a feeling that stays all the time. You're not always really happy, you're not always really sad, you're sometimes just in between, just plodding along in your life. This card reminds us that that's the cyclical nature. And life and our life experiences gives us the it shows examples all the time of what of how things end and new things come in our lives. And so when we try to not experience what death means, we are missing out on grief over things that we should be grieving. We sometimes try to hold on to parts of ourselves, people, places that no longer serve us. Death reminds us that for something new to grow, something old has to be pushed out of the way. Um, in the last quarter of last year, I let go of people that I truly, truly loved. My entire life, I loved these people, and it was not reciprocal. So I let those people go. And I felt like an enormous weight had been lifted off of my shoulders when I gave myself the permission to let them go and to move on and to fully embrace myself as the person that I am, the person I was meant to be before I was told who to be. The one thing I have not done is grieve the loss of those people. So this card is telling me to embrace that. I don't think I've really wanted to think about the fact that I did suffer a loss, even though it was my choice to finally look at people and throw some boundaries up and push them back and say, you know what, here, let me just fix this for you and remove myself from your life. I haven't really given myself a chance to grieve for that. And it's really important to feel those feelings, process them, and let them go. Um, my my meditation practice and prayer practice has helped me exponentially move from those feelings of anger and rejection and process them as things that just had to happen in order for me to become this person that I am today. I'm sort of proud of everything that I have accomplished since I started the shadow work journey, however many weeks ago it was now. I think it's like we're on week 16 or something. And it's it's pretty amazing what happens when you finally just say, I'm going to take some time and I'm going to figure out who I am and I'm going to work on some stuff that needs to be worked on and I'm going to let some stuff go so that I'm not this volatile, unhinged person that people have to try to wonder what's going to come from me next, you know? Um, it's a really wonderful feeling to move on. Um, Holding on and not moving is not just an illusion, it's sort of a comforting for ourselves. So that's why we do that, why we don't want to look at our own death, why we don't want to let go of things that no longer serve us, people, places, things. But it's better to lose those things, embrace the loss and mourn it, experiencing feelings that I know are temporary, to be reminded of all that is still and beautiful in my life. Because I think that when I go through times of loss, I discount stuff. I discount my best friend Michelle. I discount my children. I discount my men. I discount the fact that I have this house that my mother left for me that I don't have to pay for. I discount that I'm still pretty much physically able to do anything I want to do. I discount that I am disciplined and that I put my mind to things and I do those things and I accomplish those things. I don't think about that stuff as much as I think about, oh my God, I'm going to die. Oh my God, I lost all my family. Oh my God, none of my cousins talk to me. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And I'm not thinking about all of the wonderful things that I've accomplished, that I have turned myself into, the the things that I have fixed that were broken inside of me. I have discounted those things, and this card reminds me to not discount those things and to be proud of where come from and where I'm going. I've especially let go of limiting beliefs about myself, believing that I was not deserving of an opinion, believing that I wasn't smart, believing that that I don't get to choose how I want to live my life because I have to conform to some specific position or place or person to make them feel more comfortable about the way that I live my life. That's not on me, that's on them. And if people feel uncomfortable with the way I live my life, I can't help that. There's nothing that I can do to fix that. I mean, if they want to talk to me about it, it's perfectly fine, but I owe nobody any explanations and I know owe nobody any fealty for how I live my life. I get to choose that as long as I'm not hurting anybody in the process. I have a right to be here. I have a right to my opinions and beliefs. There was loss, but out of that loss came freedom. When I let go of my nuclear family, my blood family, that freedom opened me up to courage and letting go of being guilty about who I was or who I am. I've looked back over the past year and seen where I've come from. I've watched as old ways of being left me. I'm excited for the year for what the year has for me. I will expect it. I will expect endings. I'll hold on to what is and remember what beauty and abundance surround me. I am truly grateful for everything and everyone who's been in my life, left my life, for what's going to come, because that's what happens. Endings, beginnings, new, old, change. If we embrace change, it's not so scary. If we look at all cycles of life as what they are, cycles of life, it's not so scary. So this week we're going to contemplate death, endings and beginnings. I'm going to contemplate where I've been, who I was, where I'm going, and who I am now, most importantly, and be proud and grateful for everything that I have in my life today. So, get out your journal, write some stuff down, look at what you have, embrace that abundance and that gratefulness that you do for the things you do have, because I know you have blessings. Everybody does. Have a good day.